Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Landman. I head the Graduate Performance Program in the Department of Theater, and I'm delighted to visit with you tonight. This is our second evening with members of the production team and cast. Last night we spoke to the director and designers. Tonight we'll be talking to the director and the cast, and then tomorrow night after Act 3, which is also at 7:30, we'll be talking to the director, cast, and the designers all together. So I'd like to first welcome back Juan. Hello, Juan Louis. Juan, congratulations on your second opening night.
Thank you, Michael.
So Juan, what was it like to work remotely with the cast? You didn't get to meet in person.
Yeah, we actually it's still the same work when we together analyze the script and research on characters, their own real people. So a lot of things to research about them. Then we talk about the story, about the intention, about it's kind of like usual when you work on the script. But then the thing is, as a director, you will work with blocking a lot, in which in the real scene, that in the real stage, arranging group of oh, here's the actors, hi. Yeah, like arranging and moving the actors and grouping them, like, yeah, all the things of blocking now with Zoom is impossible. So it's just I think it's just like drive our focus into something else and try to make the best as we can. Yeah.
So something I really appreciated, and welcome to the cast. Congratulations to you all on your second opening tonight. I really appreciated, as I've seen a few run-throughs before tonight, how much the differentiation of characters is coming along. There's really distinct personalities and physicalizations and vocalizations. Would any of you like to talk about the development of that and how you might have used real people to be inspired, and the traps and also opportunities by working with real people or portraying real people?
Yeah, I'll jump in first on that one.
Thanks, Ron.
There's definitely a benefit to having real people, because a lot of these people are Googleable, like Rulon Stacy or Governor Geringer. Like these aren't just like random townies. These are like public figures, and so it's really easy to get a hold of actual vocal recordings of these people that you can use to influence yourself. I would say the trap is to try to turn your voice into theirs, because then it's not your voice anymore, and it's hard to act if you're like trying to like be somebody else vocally. You can kind of suggest them and still kind of be truthful, but yeah, the trap is to take it too far.
Is there something else you might want to add to that?
Sure.
Thank you.
So I play several other characters who have accents in the show that aren't in this particular act, but I think that like Riles was saying, having real people, as being able to look up these people and hear what they actually sound like, is amazing. And then also finding a way to adapt it to suit your voice. So for example, Marge, who you all just saw me do in one of the scenes tonight, is a lady in her 60s at this time, and she has emphysema. I do not have emphysema, and I have had laryngitis. So I'm able to kind of figure out with Ben. Ben helped me a lot. Ben Corbett, our vocal coach for this show. But yeah, it's a really fun challenge, and it actually helps me find the character's body as well once I can find their voice.
Thank you. Anyone else want to jump in?
I mean, it's everyone's a million billion times correct, but there's also kind of the freedom too, because some of these people you can't find anything on them, because some of them are just like anonymous, like Murdoch. I couldn't find anything on him. Like some of these people, like you can't find diddly squat. So it kind of gives you that freedom still to be like, oh hey, I'm gonna make him sound like this. Yeah.
And how much of what inspires you as actors is what was in the text and suggested versus what you discovered by researching? I imagine they're not always perfectly compatible, that you have to make some artistic choices. And I see some head nods. So Tristan, I see your head nodding, and Kaylee, maybe you guys could speak to that.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything that everybody's saying. There's a trap of when you're dealing with these real people that, I mean, our job as actors is to tell or live their life truthfully. And if you're dealing with a fictional character, you probably have more leeway in regards to choices and stuff. But when you're dealing with these real people, of course, you still have the leeway. You need to make your own decisions and things like that. But there comes a point that if you do that too much, then you're not doing this real person justice. They have their own ideas, their own thoughts, and that is exactly what they say in this script. And that's something we talked about a lot as a cast, is that we wanted to try our absolute best to tell this story exactly how these real people um, thought and felt about the Matthew Shepard murder. And I think that really and truly is what inspired me the most. I don't want to speak for everyone else, but that is what helped me figure out these real characters pretty much.
Thank you. Kaylee?
And honestly, what really helped me a lot too is knowing the fact that the script is word from word what they said. There's no argument in what they said, so we can get a sense, like a sense of idea of how they talk. How many times do they use like yeah, we can get that. So what words are they using? What type of words are they using to describe certain events? And yeah, that really helped me like so much.
Thank you. Did I see someone else wanting to jump in? Grace?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, along with what both Tristan and Kaylee were saying, Ben Corbett, who I just mentioned a moment ago, was very helpful to us, not only in developing the accents, but also making sure that we were word perfect. You always want to be word perfect for shows, but this one in particular, because if you lose even their more colloquial words, like saying or like, those are actually crucial because these are word for word transcriptions of what they said in the interviews.
Thank you. So this is an unusual play in that it's a documentary. Usually when you're in scenes, you have conflict with other characters. How did you guys grapple with the nature of this, and how is Zoom potentially helpful? Because Zoom is your partner now, right? You're looking at a camera. Who are you looking at? Are you talking to the audience? Are you talking to the interviewer? How did you guys reckon with the challenge of working on Zoom and not having a partner in the room? Yes, Leah.
So I think that actually it was great to be on Zoom for this play. I mean, it just, the play itself lends itself so well to this medium, but because a lot of the majority of the scenes in this show are just direct interviews where you are the only person in the scene, and you might have the interviewer, but it made it actually more palpable that the target or the person that you were directing the scene towards was the interviewer. And everybody acts differently when they know that they are being recorded. Everybody does. You know, we teach classes on Zoom that are being recorded, and we always have phones around us, and there's a potential of being recorded. So when you are cognizant of that fact, you as a person, as a human, are going to act differently. So not only did these people that were being interviewed for this, they had that sense of of that they were very alive with the fact that they knew how they were going to be represented. I think that lended itself very well for me. That this show was via camera, and that I can actually, if I choose to, I can see myself and what I look like, and, which is kind of wonky and a very different experience than a live show. But also that it helped to put myself even more so in the shoes of the person that was being interviewed during that time period. It was very, it translated extremely well to allow me to sit in that person's shoes in the interview chair and actually imagine what it would have been like in 1998 in Laramie.
Anyone else want to add to that?
Really, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I was really acting to Taylor. I was giving her all of my energy. And when she wasn't there, I was like, am I supposed to do this by myself? Like, I don't understand. I need Taylor to come back, ma'am. I'm talking to you. And so she has become my audience. She's become my one character in the fifth row. And yeah.
So I would like to make everyone who's watching aware that something happened tonight that wasn't planned, and would love Taylor. Do you want to share? You're muted right now.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
You may have noticed I was here at the beginning and then I wasn't. I live out in the middle of Madison County and my internet connection is not good. I was with us, obviously, and I was able to call in, which is a great feature for Zoom. I'm really glad that we have it, because otherwise I wouldn't have been here, period. But I know it doesn't give the same effect. I hate that I wasn't able to. I was so upset, but hopefully we don't run into that again tomorrow.
And Frank, I want to let you know, Taylor and the cast, one of the things I love about live theater, even if it's Zoom live theater, is that when things go wrong, it's exciting to watch the cast deal with it. And you guys dealt with it beautifully. You and also the backstage crew and stage manager and everyone who's running things. I don't think anyone would know you were missing because you all handled it with grace. And that is always our goal in the theater, to just, the show must go on. So good job, Taylor and everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have to say something following Haley when she shares something about sharing the energy to Taylor, like targeting her. So one thing that we talk when during the rehearsal is that like what kinds of target that are included in this script. So we have something like there's some scene, there are interviewers there. They're the real interviewers from Tectonic, members of Tectonic group there, and have a tape recorded to them. So they have a real target here. But there's some scene there isn't. So the target turned to the audience sometimes. And there's some scene that they acting with their partner in the same scene. So we set up some rules for that. If you have partner or you have interviewers, you look at the images of them in the screen, so you can source their reaction, their response to your action. But the only target that we cannot land our action on is the audience. We cannot have the audience, like see the audience in Zoom. They cannot give us any reaction. So we come up with the idea that Taylor will be the one who listens to us. And she does, because she is a narrator. She tells the story, so she wants to listen to what her characters say, right? So yeah, Taylor will be the good audience for the whole show. And yeah, that's why Kaylee gave the energy to her. Yeah, but you are still good today when Taylor is off. I mean, everyone is still good. Thank you for that, for keeping the show going on. Thank you for that.
So it's a good segue to ask you guys, there's drama in this play. There's a little bit of comedy here and there potentially. You don't have any audience to respond to except for Taylor. What has that been like for you as actors, not having the benefit of the audience, what you're doing, crying with you? I'm really eager to know what it's like to perform in this platform in that way, aside from the fact that Taylor is responding to you.
For me, it's great because I know I can get sucked into the reaction. Like if this is a live performance and we're doing this show 4 or 5 times a week for however many weeks, and I start anticipating a laugh, I don't know, it gets in my head in that way. Or in these more emotional moments, if I can breathe with the audience, and if on one particular day the audience isn't right there with me, then I don't know, that it's a thought that's in my head somewhere. So in that respect, this has an advantage in that way, where it's you, yourself, and what you got. And there's something you can claim your own confidence in that. That's nice and different.
Thank you. Gabe?
Yeah, I totally agree with Riles. And it's as an actor, I know I have a habit. I'm trying to beat into submission of like checking in with the audience or checking in with the director, checking in. You insert the person here. I have like a subtle habit of like checking in or like checking out and seeing how they're responding to the work. But it like totally throws that out of the water, and it makes everything 100% about your partner. And it's really been a really solid. I'm not the biggest fan of Zoom, not gonna lie, but it really changes the work. That is a very positive aspect of this platform. There's no other influence. It's your partner, and that's it. And I found it I know I've grown as an actor because of it, and I feel very, oh hey, you know what? I don't need to check in with anybody, and it's really helped me. So I'm very grateful for that. Except when Juan tells me he hates me, because Juan's told me he hates me.
I have a hard time believing that out of context.
That's a lie.
Did anyone else want to share anything about any aspect of anything we've talked about so far?
I've before the past 2 performances, a couple of times before the show starts, I'll just scroll through the participants list just to absorb, see if I recognize any names, kind of raise the stakes for myself a little bit, and try to grasp some of that anticipation that we get backstage before the show starts.
It's kind of like peeking through the curtain before you come on stage, see who's out there. And yeah, you're a teacher, so maybe some of your students are out there too. Yeah.
I know for a fact I miss the adrenaline rush that comes with, 5 minutes before a curtain or 5 minutes before whatever. And just knowing who's out there, hearing the audience talk, hearing them, just be excited for the show. I miss that anticipation, that adrenaline that comes with it. That nervousness, I like to feed off of that. For me, that's what's missing the most. I agree with everybody else, what they're saying about like not being in their heads about what do they think, blah, 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 blah. But I also miss just what comes with like pre-show and just like, ooh, here we go. I got to find different ways now to like hype myself up, or to like get myself in the zone. Like I took a shower like 5 minutes before the show. I was like, come on. But, come on. But, I do miss that, I do miss having the audience there, or at least being able to see them connect, see if what's landing, what's not. But we're in person, hopefully next semester. So, here we go. Hopefully this is the last time we have to do this medium.
And I realize I haven't yet introduced, we have 11 of you in the cast. 8 of you are graduate actors, a second year in our 3-year program, right? And maybe you could just wave to us if you're a grad actor so we know who you are. And so this is the entire company of grad actors. You're all in a show together that happened last year in Tartuffe. It will happen again No, we're missing Abood. Well, we're not all here. We're 7 of the 8. I'm sorry. We have 1 who's not here, but all 8 will be in Love's Labor's Lost in the spring. And then the rest of you are undergraduate students that you could just wave to us so we can see who you are. And on my screen, you're all in the same row. Isn't that cool? Great. What's it like to work with grads and undergrads? Does anyone notice once you start rehearsal? Maybe I'll ask undergrads to answer
that. For me, something that I really love about, I guess, our department in general is that we do have grads, and they are, I guess, inherently, as they've finished their either BA or BFA program, typically in theater, they have had more training than someone like I have potentially had as an undergraduate here so far. So you just learn more while working with other people, other graduates, like these incredible actors that are in my cast here with me. They help you anytime you have questions. They just, I don't know, there's something about learning from someone that is in a similar age bracket to you, but just might potentially have that step up over you at the time. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that's kind of where we are in our training and in our age and stuff like that. It's really exciting. I felt that way with the last group of grads, and I feel that way with this group of grads. I've gotten to work with a ton of great actors, and that includes all of these grads right here.
Anyone?
Yeah, just like what Tristan said, learning from all of them. All of our professors tell us that a lot of theater, what you'll learn is from watching other people work, and being able to watch this just amazing cast of people and working with them, you absorb a lot from them. And I mean, it's definitely improved all of my work, and it's just amazing to be able to be in a cast with these guys, because they are all just absolutely stunning actors and actresses, and it's been a pleasure.
And it's also your debut, Tanner.
What's that? What?
Right? The first production. And Taylor too, right?
Oh, it's their first theater productions as actors?
Yeah.
Congratulations to you both. That's amazing. Yay. What a
I don't
great
know
start.
if Tanner felt the same way, but I remember when we got the cast list, I remember looking at it and being like, because I'm a sophomore actually. So, and I just started acting 1. I remember getting that cast list and being so intimidated, and I was like, they did this wrong. I was like, I don't know why they put me here. Why am I here? I don't have the experience to like work with all of these like seniors and like grad actors. Something's wrong. But besides that, I mean, everybody's so helpful and welcoming, and everybody's so sweet. I love this cast. You guys are also, I love you guys so much. But just everything Tristan said, everything Tanner said, it was such a really great growing experience, just as somebody that doesn't have a lot of it, like especially performing. Obviously, we're not performing in front of an audience like I know that we normally would, but just to kind of get the experience of doing this and learn in a way that's really unique, I think, was sort of once in a lifetime, I think. So I think we're all very lucky that we got to do this together, and I'm glad we got to do it. So.
Me too. Thank you. Hey, I don't. What? Someone was gonna say something. What?
Hi,
Go ahead,
Michael.
Leah.
I was just gonna add that it goes the exact same way for the graduate students because we work together all the time, and gosh, we get bored of one another. Oh God, But like, no, we no, like these the grad cohort works really well together, but it's so wonderful to especially now because we're not in person, like that we get to have new people that come into the mix from all different walks of life and different life experiences, and then to tell such an amazing story. And like Taylor said, that this is totally a once in a lifetime slice of life opportunity that maybe we'll be doing again. But this is such a unique performance style that it is so regrettable that we didn't get to have our in-person performances and rehearsal time so that we could, like bond as a cast, I guess, like, like in person physically, but we got to do it in such a unique way that you can't duplicate. And so we're all so grateful that we have a department that intermingles graduates with undergraduates. And as someone that didn't get a BFA in theater, like I am constantly learning from the undergraduates that are, like Tristan, who's a senior and has had 4 years of of undergraduate training, that we're learning from everybody, no matter what the age level is. So.
Thank you. So just to make sure the audience is clear, the entire cast, you're in separate locations, and there were no rehearsals together. It was all done via Zoom. And the director, Juan, is also in a different location. I think a couple of you are even in different states, right? So well done. I particularly want to reach out to anyone who hasn't spoken yet tonight, who wants to share anything about the process or about the play, anything that you want to make sure the audience gets from it, or anything you want to say. If you haven't yet had a chance to share something, please do.
Just to reiterate, when you're talking about the doing the show from home, and I always think about I've been thinking recently about how intimidating the theater space is sometimes for me, like walking in and seeing all the chairs, they're all like looking all nice, and the stage is like big, and so much of the job is just dominating that space. For me, it's just wrapping my brain around the fact that this is the stage that I'm working on and connecting to that space. But doing the work from home, you don't really have to do that. Everybody is in different situations, but it's just a smaller space to maintain and to manage and to dominate and to feel. So I've appreciated it in that sense.
Thank you. Any other thoughts from anyone? Well, tomorrow night, the design team is going to join us, and we're going to talk with them about how they worked with you in really unique ways. We know a little bit from last night how the lighting designer didn't get to light a theater, but got to help you light your homes, and the costume designer was working with items from your wardrobes, and how the scenic designer worked with Juan to help find angles and ways to create new spaces. It's all really fascinating ways to adapt to a new circumstance. And then I would also love to touch base tomorrow night about what the show means to you, and how you've grown from the material or learned from it, or what you want the audience to get from it. So thank you so much for your work on the show. Thank you for your generous participation tonight. I look forward to seeing Act 3 tomorrow at 7:30, and then chatting with you guys again tomorrow night. Thank you, and have a great night to you and to our audience.
Thank you all.